Today we're talking about one of the most misunderstood, most powerful, and most fascinating dog breeds on the planet, the Tibetan Mastiff. This isn't just a big dog. This is a legend wrapped in fur. A breed that guarded monasteries in the Himalayas for thousands of years and fundamentally shaped how we understand canine loyalty. The myth versus the reality. When you Google Tibetan Mastiff, you'll find headlines like "World's Most Expensive Dog" and "One Sold for $2 million." You'll see images of massive, lion-like creatures that look like they could take down a bear. And honestly, part of that is real, but most of it is hype. Let's separate fact from fiction. A Tibetan Mastiff is indeed large, 100 to 160 pounds of muscle, bone, and dense double coat. They are genuinely independent, stubborn, and protective to a degree that most modern dog owners have never experienced. They will challenge you. They will test boundaries, and they absolutely will not obey you just because you ask nicely. But here's what the internet gets wrong. They're not aggressive monsters. They're not untrainable, and they're definitely not the most dangerous breed. What they are is honest. They show you exactly what they think, and if you don't like it, that's your problem, not theirs. Where did they come from? This story starts in Tibet, somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 years ago. We don't know exactly. The records are fuzzy. But we know this. Tibetan Mastiffs were bred by nomadic herders to protect livestock from snow leopards, wolves, and anything else that threatened their flocks in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Think about that for a second. This dog wasn't bred to be cuddly. It wasn't bred to please. It was bred to make independent decisions on a mountainside while protecting animals worth more than its own life. A dog that needed a human's permission to act would be dead, along with the herd. So Tibetan Mastiffs developed an entirely different relationship with humans than most breeds. They respected humans. They worked with humans. But they didn't need constant approval. They didn't need to be best friends. They needed to know their job and execute it with absolute commitment. That trait is hardwired into the DNA of every Tibetan Mastiff alive today. The temperament. Powerful, protective, proud. If you've never been around a Tibetan Mastiff, here's what you need to know. They have presence. When one walks into a room, the energy shifts. Not because they're aggressive, but because they're aware. They're assessing. They're thinking. They bond intensely with their family. A Tibetan Mastiff will die protecting you. Not figuratively, literally. There are documented cases of these dogs fighting off predators, ignoring severe injuries, because protecting their people was more important than survival instinct. But here's the flip side. They don't bond easily with strangers. A Tibetan Mastiff doesn't view everyone as a potential friend. They view most people as a potential threat until proven otherwise. Invite someone to your house, and your Mastiff will give them a look that says, "I'm watching you. Make one wrong move." This makes them terrible for homes where you have lots of visitors. It makes them challenging in apartment buildings. And it absolutely makes them unsuitable for first-time dog owners. But for the right person, someone who understands respect-based leadership, who can set boundaries without being mean, who appreciates a dog that will never blindly follow orders, a Tibetan Mastiff is incomparable. Training. It's not obedience, it's negotiation. Here's where Tibetan Mastiffs separate from virtually every other breed. You cannot simply command a Tibetan Mastiff into compliance. They don't have the genetic wiring that makes Border Collies or German Shepherds live to please their owners. A Tibetan Mastiff looks at a command and thinks, "Why should I? What's in it for me?" This isn't defiance, it's intelligence. It's the same trait that kept them alive on Himalayan slopes. Successful Tibetan Mastiff owners learn to work with this trait, not against it. You don't say sit, you make sitting the most logical choice the dog can make. You reward it massively. You establish yourself as someone worth following, not because you're the loudest voice, but because you're consistent, fair, and you actually know what you're doing. The training process is slower than with other breeds, but the results are profound. A well-trained Tibetan Mastiff isn't a dog that obeys, it's a dog that respects you. And that respect runs deeper than obedience ever could. The physical reality. What you're actually getting. Tibetan Mastiffs are giants. An adult male stands about 26 inches at the shoulder and weighs 160 pounds. And that's not fat, that's muscle covered in the thickest double coat of any dog breed. Hey, welcome to Dog Facts Hub. I'm here to share the most fascinating, sometimes shocking, and always honest information about dogs. Not the Instagram version, not the breed standards, just the real story. What these dogs are really like, what they need, and why understanding them changes everything. Tibetan Mastiff, the mountain guardian that will change how you see dogs. That coat is a thing of legend. It sheds. Oh, it sheds. During shedding season, you're not brushing your dog, you're harvesting wool. A single Tibetan Mastiff can shed enough hair to knit a sweater. This isn't an exaggeration. They overheat easily, so they need cool climates or excellent climate control. They need daily brushing, especially during shedding season, not for vanity, but because matting can lead to skin infections. Veterinary costs are significant. They're prone to hip dysplasia, elbow dysplasia, and thyroid issues. Food costs alone can run $100+ per month because they eat a lot. Not because they're gluttonous, but because their size requires significant nutrition. And they live 10 to 14 years. A long time to be completely committed to a dog that can weigh as much as an adult human. The price tag. Why are they so expensive? You've probably heard the stories. A Tibetan Mastiff sold for $2 million in China, another for $1.5 million. Suddenly, every breeder wanted to cash in, and prices skyrocketed. Here's the truth. Those prices are mostly hot air. They were driven by wealthy Chinese businessmen during a boom period when Tibetan Mastiffs became a status symbol. Today, a quality Tibetan Mastiff from a reputable breeder costs $1,500 to $5,000. That's expensive, yes, but it's nowhere near what the headline suggested. Why are they more expensive than other large breeds? Because responsible breeders do extensive genetic testing, health screening, and careful selection to prevent the hip dysplasia and other issues that plague the breed. A good breeder will spend more on health testing than they make selling puppies. The real financial commitment isn't the purchase price, it's the lifetime cost. Food, veterinary care, training, which you'll absolutely need, grooming, and everything else. Living with a Tibetan Mastiff, the honest truth. This is not a casual pet. This is a commitment. A Tibetan Mastiff will ignore commands if they think your decision is stupid. They'll protect your property with intensity that can look aggressive to outsiders. They'll shed enough hair to make you question your life choices. They'll require consistent, respectful leadership from day one. They'll cost $2,000 to $3,000 per year to properly maintain. And they'll live 10 to 14 years, during which they will always be their own dog. But a Tibetan Mastiff will also love your family with a depth that most dogs never achieve. They'll show courage that will inspire you. They'll demonstrate loyalty that's absolutely unbreakable. They'll teach you what real respect looks like. And they'll be a dog that changes your understanding of what humans and animals can be together. The monks knew. In Tibetan monasteries, monks understood something about these dogs that modern breeders seem to have forgotten. They didn't try to make them smaller, cuter, or more obedient. They recognized the Tibetan Mastiff as an autonomous being with its own intelligence and will. They worked with that nature, not against it. And in doing so, they created a bond that transcended the typical human-dog relationship. Modern Tibetan Mastiff owners who succeed are the ones who remember this. They don't see their dog as a possession or a status symbol. They see a powerful ally that is chosen through respect to share their life. Is a Tibetan Mastiff right for you? Honestly, probably not, and that's okay. Tibetan Mastiffs are perfect for experienced dog owners who understand pack dynamics, people living in cool climates with secure property, families committed to consistent and fair leadership, those who appreciate independence in a dog, and anyone who can handle a 160-pound dog that will occasionally ignore them. They're terrible for first-time dog owners, people expecting a friendly and outgoing family pet, anyone unwilling to invest in training and socialization, those who can't handle a dog that challenges authority, apartments or urban environments, and anyone on a tight budget. The bottom line: the Tibetan Mastiff isn't the world's most expensive dog. It's not the most dangerous. It's not even the most trainable or the smartest. But it is one of the most genuine. It's a dog that will not pretend to be something it's not. It will not compromise its nature to please you. And if you earn its respect, truly earn it, you'll have a companion that will stand by you with an intensity that modern dogs rarely exhibit. That's the real story of the Tibetan Mastiff. Not the hype, not the price tags, but the ancient legacy of a dog bred to think for itself, to protect what it loves, and to demand respect as its price for loyalty. Thanks for watching World of Dogs. If you're thinking about a Tibetan Mastiff, do your research, find a reputable breeder, and understand what you're actually getting into. This isn't a dog to take lightly. And if you've got experience with Tibetan Mastiffs, drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it.